Okay, hello first graders. Today we are looking at lesson 5-5. They're going to be asking us to add three numbers. So we're going to be looking at problems again with those 3 digits. We practiced that last week. We're going to find that on page 323. So if you can please go ahead and take out your books and open to that lesson. I'm going to share my workspace with you. There we go. Okay, lesson 5-5. Page 323, and on that page I see Carlos with some stacks of books. I'm going to go ahead and read the story and you can follow along in your book. It says, Carlos made stacks of 6 books, 4 books, and 6 books. How can you use addition to find the number of books in all 3 stacks? Write 2 different equations to show how many books in all. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is identify that important information. So I see here that Carlos had 1 stack of 6 books, a second stack of 4, and then another stack of 6. And the question is, how can you use addition, and be adding, to find the number of books in all 3 stacks? Okay, so here are my spaces to write my equations. So one way I can write that is to do the same order that they give me in the problem, which is 6 plus 4 plus 6. So I'm going to go ahead and write that here in that first equation, and you can do the same, please. 6 plus 4 plus 6. Okay? Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to start adding with 2 digits. So I see 6 and 4 here at the beginning of my problem. I know that 6 plus 4 gives me a sum of 10. And now I'm going to take that 10 and I'm going to add another 6. Our brains really like adding with 6, right? 10 plus 6 gives me 16. I'm only adding 6 ones. Okay. If we want to check that, we can go ahead and scoop up that 10 and count on 6 more. You can do that with me, please. It looks and sounds like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm sorry. I'm starting with 10. I apologize. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. Scooped up 10 and counted on 6 more, and I got 16. Okay. The second part of the directions asked me to make sure that I write 2 different equations. You can see here's our first way, and now I'm going to write a second way. So all I'm going to do is change the order of my add-ins. Instead of doing 6 plus 4 first, I can do 6 plus 6 first, and then bring my 4 into that last spot. So now I'm going to start with 6 plus 6. Well, 6 plus 6 is a double. And I know a lot of you have been working on your doubles and committing those to memory. 6 plus 6 gives me a sum of 12. Okay, to check that, I can just go ahead and start with that 6, scoop it up, and count on 6 more. So it sounds like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 6 plus 6 is 12. So now I have 12 and I need to add on 4 more. We can do that same strategy. Here we go. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I added 4 more and I got to 16. So you can see that even though I changed the order of my add-ins, my sum stayed the same, right? In both cases it was 16. So if you need any more time with this, go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and move us ahead to the next page. And I see Carlos at the top of that page in those green boxes. The directions say you can add 3 numbers. And so they give us 8 plus 6 plus 2. Carlos says pick 2 numbers to add first. So 8 plus 6 plus 2 is our original problem. And you can see in the next box, they decide to start with 8 and 2. Why do they do that? Because 8 and 2 make a 10. And our brains really like adding with 10s. So 8 plus 2 gives me 10. You can go ahead and write that in your book too. And then I have 10 plus 6 more. 10 plus 6 gives me 16. That's right. Good. Okay. In the next box, they show us another way they could have started. So it says you can make a double, right? So instead of starting with 8 plus 2, in the next example, they start with 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2 gives me 8, right? 6, 7, 8. And now I have 8 plus 8, which is a double. And again, many of us are committing our doubles to memory. 8 plus 8 gives me 16. Okay, so again, I have the same sum, even though I added in a different order. Okay, and finally, the last box says you can add any two numbers first. So just to recap that strategy, they give you the equation of 3 plus 5 plus 4. And they started with 3 plus 5 in the first example, which gave us 8. And 8 plus 4 more, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 gives you 12. And if I take that same problem, 3 plus 5 plus 4, but this time I add 5 plus 4 first. 5 plus 4 gives me 9, right? If I know 5 plus 5 is 10, then 5 plus 4 is going to give me 9. And then 9 plus 3 more, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're both 12. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the guided practice, which asks us to add the circled numbers first, write their sum in the box, then write the sum of all three numbers. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is look at the whole problem, and then we're going to start with the numbers that they circle. Okay, so number 1 says 2 plus 9 plus 1. And they've started us with 2 plus 9, right? So I'm going to scoop up that bigger number, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 2 plus 9 gives me 11. And now I have 11 plus 1 more. That gives me a sum of 12, right? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. My equation says 6 plus 3 plus 2. So I'm going to start with 6 plus 3 because those are the numbers that they circled. Scoop up 6 and count on 3 more. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that gave me 9. And I see I need to add 2 more to that. 9, 10, 11. Right? Total sum for this one is 11. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at number 2. I'm sorry. Oh, this is the same. I see what they did. I went from left to right, and the entire number 1 goes from top to bottom, so I apologize. Okay, so this second equation is a repeat of that first equation, but they're asking us to start adding with the other two numbers, so I apologize. Let me read the equation again. 2 plus 9 plus 1. And this time they started us with 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 gives me 10. And then I have 10 plus 2 more. So 10, 11, 12 gives me a total of 12. Okay, and now we can see that both of those equations are the same, 2 plus 9 plus 1, but we just added them in a different order. They both gave us a sum of 12. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Let's go ahead and take another look at number 2 then. We did the first part of the first equation in that problem, but we didn't do the second one. So again, I'm looking at 6 plus 3 plus 2, but this time I'm going to begin with 3 plus 2. So 3 plus 2 gives me a total of 5. Let's start with 5 there. And now I need to take that 5 and add 6 more. Well, I know 5 plus 5 is 10, right? 5 plus 5 is 10. So 5 plus 6, just be 1 more. That's right, 11. So in both cases, my sum is 11. Okay, all right, let's go ahead then and take a look at your independent practice today. The directions ask you to circle two of the numbers to add first, write their sum in the box at the right, then write the sum of all three numbers. Okay, so we have 3 steps that we need to do that. Let's look at number 3 together. 6 plus 6 plus 1. Okay, the first thing I need to do is circle the 2 numbers that I'm going to add. Well, I'm going to start by circling 6 and 6 because that's a double that I know. And maybe some of you know that double too. So we're going to just circle them, and then we're going to put our arrow going to that box, okay? Just like they did here. The only difference is in this equation, it's written from right to left, and in these equations, they're written from top to bottom, but it's the same process. So I circled 6 and 6. 6 and 6 gives me 12. So I'm going to write that in my box. And now I have 12 plus 1 more, which gives me a sum of 13. Okay? Now, if you, let's say another person, let me write that problem again. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you. So you don't have to write this. But let's say that another person said, I think I want to start, grab another color here. I want to start by adding 1 plus 6 first. Well, that's okay. You can add 1 plus 6 first. That gives you 7. And then you have 6 plus 7. Okay? And you can think about it this way. We know 6 plus 6 is 12. So 6 plus 7 would just be 1 more, which would give us 13. And look at that. Our sum is the same. Okay? All right. So you are going to work on that strategy for numbers 3 through 8. Okay? And then at the bottom, you can see number 1. They're working on number sense there. The directions ask you to find the missing numbers. The numbers on each branch add up to 15. Okay, so this is just a different way of organizing the information. So each of these branches, they call these branches, each of them has to add up to 15. So in my first branch, I already have 4 plus 5. I know 4 plus 5 is 9, right? 5 plus 5 is 10. So 5 plus 4 is just 1 less, which would be 9. But I know I need to get to 15. So all I would do is take that 9, scoop it up, and count on to see how many more I would need to get 15. So we can do that together. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 6 more, right? So I would just write 6 in that last spot. Okay, let me look at the next branch. I see 8 and 4 so far. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so far I have 12, but I know I need 15. So how many more do I need to add? 12, 13, 14, 15. I would need to add 3 more. So I'm going to write a 3 in that circle. And let's do this last one. I have 7 and 7. That's a double, right? 7 and 7 gives me 14. Can you see that okay? Yeah, 14. And I know I need 15. So 14 plus, just 1 more, right? 14 plus 1 would give me 15. So now all 3 of my branches give me 15. Okay, so that's the same thing that you can do for this second one. Okay, so adding with 3 digits, guys. You guys are learning a lot about how numbers work. I think that you're going to be really successful with this strategy, but as always, if any questions come up, you guys can bring them to our Google Meets, and we'll definitely be going over some examples to kind of help us just get some extra practice on the strategy. Okay, all right, so other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll be seeing you real soon, so take care. Okay, all right, guys, bye.